Well, we're live. It's Friday. You've all been waiting for that day, haven't you? Well, I have a mighty task ahead of me today. I've got to do page 104 and 105 because let me see. Last week I finished 103, 104, 105, 106, 107. I think I have 106 and 107 done. But 104 and 105, somehow I forgot to do those. So I guess I'll just do them today. So here on Blue Boy Brown, da 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 da. Anyway, here we are. That's what's going on right now. That's the last page I put up, I believe. So let's get started with the big stuff. So it's best to just show the screen. Yeah, just show the screen instead of an application because they don't show up all the stuff where is it? Oh, there it is. Oh, look at that. Imagine, it's right over there. Anyway, this is where I was yesterday. Everybody's starting to get what we call back home snockered. Tie one on. And it's all Cyrus Wells' fault. This is pre-prohibition. It's 1914. It's pre-prohibition, so people were making their own booze. Now you actually have to you can only do a certain amount of it in your house. I have a friend who does that or used to do that, and he made some really good beer. I can't drink beer anymore. I'm too old for that stuff. Turns into sugar right away and makes my blood look like molasses. And blood and molasses are fine, but they have to stay in their place. And blood goes in the blood veins and molasses goes on the pancakes, not inside your veins. Anyway, I'm playing around with this a little bit because you see these little white spots. Because So let me see. Did I do that here? I don't think I did here either. Yeah, I'm a bad boy. Okay, I have to open up a previous file. 115 is a good one. No, it's not. I have to do that one too. Open recent. 113. Yeah, that wasn't a good one either. How about just 113? Okay, I know it's this. I need to grab my watercolor layer and put watercolor here so that I can have a faux watercolor effect. And there's 115, and it needs the same thing. I don't need 113 copy. This is what I did a couple of days ago. I'm kind of happy with this. I'm happy with this one. And what I do the day before, let me see. Boo, 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 boo. I thought I did 114. That's not one. That's one. I don't need one. 114. 114. There. But where's, I see. Open. And it's going to say open cloud documents, and that's what it did. Yeah, that's what I did day or so ago. So I'm kind of referencing that. So we'll go back over here. Now I got my watercolor set up. So now I'm over here. I'm going to give them the and I use some of these things over here, like not this one. It's just scan. What's that? Oh, I got Microsoft Outlook on, and they give me notifications that drive me nuts. Anyway, I was drawing a little bit yesterday on this layer. So maybe I'll do that again today. Get down to about a 6. Yeah, because I don't want this thing to float. Okay. And yeah, I guess just a few little things here and there I like to do. um, hmm. Probably got a few little accents here. Okay. Yeah, got a few little things going on here. So I just draw right now. And most of this is just hatching because pretty much did the drawing. I mean the contours already. So I don't need a whole lot of definition of things. Yep. So it appears there's a lot more of this stuff down here, so I better color those too. And Grandma looks like she's real interested in this. I like getting married. It's her second marriage, but she's a widow, so it's cool. We don't know how many times Grandpa's been married. He's had horrible luck with women, except for that first one, but his horrible luck, she died. And then he spent a long time looking for somebody to help him raise his 2 boys. And never had too much luck doing that. Actually, that's kind of a true story. My great grandfather went through that. He went through a whole lot of wives. For the very same reasons, so it was a good one to I knew something about. And anyway, so so the color that guy's uh, make sure this is one of my okay. I'll review my color theories. Is keep the black out of it. Black is for line, and black's only purpose is to create shades and a line. If you want a gray, you can make out of 3 primary colors: cyan, magenta, and yellow, which are the primary colors of printing, which is my target always. How it would look like in print. So that's a gray. Everybody would say, yeah, that's a gray. 44% cyan, 36% magenta, 42% yellow. So it's close to cyan and yellow together, which makes a blue. Then you mix in a well, it's a greenish blue, and then you add magenta in there, and you get this kind of yellowish. So because there's yeah, you get a yellowish uh, gray. It's still gray, but it's not made from any black in it, and that enables it to interact with color. Because unless you have a perfectly balanced gray set of primaries, you're going to veer off to one of the colors, and that will enable the pure colors and the secondaries and tertiaries to interact with that gray a little more than regular gray. A gray that's just made from black and white, well, its only thing is that in the presence of next to a pure color, it'll take on either a warm or a cool tone based upon whether or not that pure color next to it is either cool or warm. It'll be the opposite. You see this really easily in Sandy Skogland's photographs, where she has a gray room and green cats, and all the gray turns warm because of the green cats. Do. Well, that's something I was going to do today. I should do that. I will do that later. I'll give you a little tour of the comic. That looks like it needs another application of that hemp. Looks like it needs another application of that because it's a little too close to being her color. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm going to go up here to tone and kind of lighten up her hair. Yep, it's a good idea. And as goofy as this sometimes looks, when you get it to print size, it all works out. That's the one thing about comics is you're always reducing them, so it makes your comic look a lot tighter than it really is. And that's one of the reasons why you don't want to make it too tight. If you make it too tight when it is reduced, it'll look all the tightness will cause a lot of your drawing to just drop out. It just won't even register. It'll just all blend together, and you'll have wasted all that tightness. This is something you learn from Velázquez and Rembrandt. Velázquez Las Meninas is his best example of that, which is where Manet got the idea. Is that when you're real close up to Las Meninas, it looks like it's just a froth of paint. especially the little Infanta. But when you back up, which is the correlated to reducing the size of the comic, everything coalesces and becomes a gorgeous thing. And sometimes is ignored by people who get too tight with their work. Let the reduction do the tightening. Okay, yeah, we're gonna go down to that there. And start doing the ground here, which may be a little too close still. Let's see whether it's a little, it's not that, there's a little bit different temperature to it. It'll be all right. Mm-hmm. Okay. A little bit of space there. Then let me just see if I want that. Well, that was clumsy of me. It's nothing new there. Uh, Let me see if I can. Ah, sure is a Friday, isn't it? Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Okay, let me see if I can get lucky and just fill that in. Yep, and I just touch it up. That's weird. Huh. Probably needs to be. Huh. Okay. I don't like that. Dang. Oh well. Just have to fill it in. I want that to be a real deep black. As black as K can go. That's probably a little too much going on there. I'm doing this all in the color layer. I'm a dummy. Should be doing it in the line layer, but it's not going to kill anything. Okay. Booyah. Oh, I see what that is. Maybe it's a good thing. Maybe it's not. It's not a good thing. I wanted that. I want the eraser. Just get rid of all that junk. Okay. Now, do it again. Yeah, going to the line section. Good enough. Not messing with it. I'll ruin the whole dang thing. Maybe trim off that, except for the color layer. Gotta trim that a little bit. Okay. Not a total disaster. Now, right here, this is bothering me. This kind of checkerboard pattern for. I don't like that too much. Okay, now. Then. Okay, I'll just leave it like that. Now, let me see if I can blend those together and bring this up a tiny bit. And okay, and and I am gonna have the same problem for her. Line layer. Come on. Okay. Okay. And then over here. Okay. Wow. Okay. So we're getting to the point where obviously I gotta give this thing a color. It's got to be a color. Let's design it right now. Let's say 50% that and 35% that. And then, how about 52% that? Yep, that's what I want. And no black. Okay, that's going to be the color of this thing here. So use these chromatic neutrals the way they're supposed to be used, which is what is done throughout classical painting, is that you use these chromatic neutrals to create space and form and solve all the spatial problems. Then you use pure color to create areas of interest, emphasis, and you have effectively gotten the viewer to look exactly at what you want to by using um, color and value and drawing a da 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 in an intelligent way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover all this color, and then I'll put a little bit of orange in those uh, little jugs right here. This guy's got a collection of jugs. That's why he can be so generous, is that this guy must be drinking all the time. Dang. Which is one of the reasons why we have had prohibition. It's like people were just like, um, you'd have a little get together on a Sunday afternoon after church, and there'd be a jug in the middle. And by the time it was finished, everybody was roaring drunk. And of course, that causes problems, doesn't it? Okay. Oh, got to do over here too. No, 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 no. Okay. Now, grab that because we're using um, a multiply effect. I can do that without wiping it out. Okay, I got that. D D D D D D D D D D D. Okay, now I have to come over here to the line section, grab a swig of coffee. I start putting on my patented skies. Yep, that's basically what I need. Oh, this could probably be a little. Oh, what's the next? Next page, 105. Okay, I've got that. So this, I get to give this thing a color without getting too do. And this is white lightning, so it's going to be not going to have too much of a color to it. Yeah, it's practically pure grain alcohol. Dang. Okay. Now I'm going to have a large brush and then just so I'm just going to draw in me clouds. I was an ice cream salesman in Kansas City at one time. I did a lot of things. try to raise money to get through college. And one of them was selling ice cream. Horrible job. Right at the beginning of the ice cream season, everybody bought ice cream. Then towards the end of the season, nobody's buying ice cream. By that time, I wasn't selling ice cream. Get the heck out of there. But I learned a lot about weather because when it rains, cats and dogs, you're not selling any ice cream. So that and geography classes in college taught me an awful lot about weather. That's why when I saw the cones 2 days ago from the National Weather Service saying we had a tropical system coming straight through South Florida, I said it's 5 days away. It's no way it's going to hit us. Well, it'll more likely get New Orleans than us. Go straight out into the Gulf of Mexico. Of course, it could change. I'll tell you, these things are fluid systems, and anything that's floating in a bath of atmosphere is going to, subject to a lot of stuff that nobody understands. It had a lot to do with the heat of the sun heating things up and causing things to rise and and evaporate and blah 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 blah. Anyway, so helps when I'm drawing clouds too. I have spied many a cloud. Said, "What's that thing gonna do?" Okay, I could probably do a little more there. And here also to do. And here. Okay. Now I gotta smudge them up a little bit. Oops. Gotta watch out since this is on the same layer as my lines. So I can really mess up my drawing real easily if I'm not careful. Like that time. Uh, boo 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 boo. Okay. Do that. Be careful. I'm going to mess up that hook. Bee-ba-boo. Now back up here. Ow, ow, ow. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay. A little more room to maneuver here. I got all these other little elements of the drawing near, so I can get a little bit nuttier here. I got to be careful. Here, that worked out okay. I just don't push your luck, old man. Ah. Okay, so now we go into color. We do the blue thing. And I can make this bigger now. Got to be careful because I can, but I don't want to have a bunch of overlapping brush strokes. Loo. Okay. I'm just going to use the brush to fill this in instead of the bucket. Okay. I'll probably have to mess around with that guy's hat because it's blending in a little bit too much with the sky. But that's the nice thing about this process is that you can make all types of changes. No big deal. So what's this? August 21st. I've been doing this since May 4th, I believe, is when I started doing this. This live stream every day. I did every day for the first month, and then I started taking the weekends off. On the weekends, I do all my stuff in Illustrator, and I've started recording those and showing those on Monday. So I'm not sure if that slows me down or speeds me up. And a bit smaller brush there and put in that. that. That was real clumsy, even for me. Bo. Okay, I got that. And enlarge my brush again so I can mess around with this. This is going to be easy. Okay. And this is going to be easy, although I got to careful I don't just go through that area there and just color blue. And down here, guess I can do that here. I won't be too big a deal. Okay. I think I'll just use the brush once again to fill this area in. I might just fill this in too. Fill that in. And I just got the bottoms to do, and then I start doing my thing with the clouds and making them look like clouds. After do that, I lay in the shadows because I've pretty much got everything colored that I want to give its local color to. Okay. Okay. Almost there. Okay. I should just smudge that barely. Am I? Oh, okay. Now, one little thing I did wrong here. I could fix that while the brush is still small. Right there. Any other little spots that, okay. So now up here in the first in the tone, I'll dodge this a tiny bit. And do that.
Can you make sure they don't see me? I have to put something away.
Sweetheart. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And do that. Let's see how I do it. I do the color. Da, 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 da. I can play around with smudging some more. What if I burnt some of this stuff too? Especially down here in the line area. Oh, that's a little too much. What's going on here? Highlights. How about shadows? A little bit better. Okay. D. And then do a little more smudging. Not what good's that gonna do? Oh yeah, do it down here. Get rid of some of these line elements, so it's more just shape. It's a lot more like watercolor. Okay, and here, like that. And here the tone. Maybe I can a little bit more pure blue. I can make pure blue around him and accentuate that green cap so I don't have to do anything to it. Okay. Now I got that's not looking too horrible. Okay, now over here in the color, maybe I could grab that and then just go over that hat a little bit and make him stand out enough so that functions the way I want him to. And I probably should do the same thing over here a little bit. And then smudge a little of that. Okay. And they still got this thing over here. Smudge this just a tiny bit. Okay. So, okay, more on the old sky. Okay. Color, dodgy. Don't want too much going on here. Okay. Just in the color area. And play around just a tiny bit. Make sure those clouds don't just look like line drawings. Okay. I'll go down here to the bottom and do the same thing. And pain in the butt is what's going to be. I'm probably going to go into a lot of the pages that come previously and where I have clouds, make them look like this. Because I kind of prefer them to the way I was doing it before. You come up with these little things that you learn as you go along. Okay, yeah. And then I was gonna end that right here. We'll give the underside of these clouds a little oomph. That's a little too much. Okay. So now I'd say it's time for some shadows. And the shadows are going to be up here. I have to design my shadows. Okay. 25. 35. Yeah, let's do it that way. 30, 25, 35. Make it sort of a warm shadows. And see what we get. Oops, I forgot that. Well, I'll get it later. And I remember that I like to use a real large brush for the shadows so that they don't compete and start turning into drawing. Okay, I'm gonna knock this down a bit. Do it a couple of times just to get it to behave itself. Okay, then a little bit back here. Okay. Bring this over here too. Oh, you got these guys. Country Dickrin cannot be done without a little bit of lubrication for the old whistle. Okay. And then Grandma and Grandpa. Okay. Shadows really give the page a look that it's reached its zenith. It's okay. It's happened. And even when you're doing the very loose brush strokes for the shadows, it somehow works out. Just hope so. Could be wrong. Almost there. Hard to believe these things come together so quickly. Now, let's look at it. A few things over here I might want to, and then blend it in a bit because it looks a little too patchwork. Okay, up. Okay. Maybe right here. Fill this in here too. And over in the line area. Right here. Be a good idea to draw a little bit more. Where is it? Come on, guys. There. I don't like that. Oh. I might just leave this alone. I'll leave all this alone. I think we're going to prove it by doing that. Oh. This needs you. Okay. I must have drawn that in the wrong layer. Okay. Okay, what do I got now? Maybe be a good idea in the color zone to give this a little bit of variation. So it's not just some flat thing going on over there. My baby's making an awful lot of noise in the kitchen. Oh well, these things happen. Okay. Dee-boo bow. Okay, this down here's bothering me. See if I am correct. That's not so bad. Well, and maybe around in some little places where there's these little areas where I've over underpainted. I can smudge this a bit and solve some of those little problems, which are not huge problems, but big enough I might as well fix them. Maybe up here. That's not too big a problem. I kind of like that. Right there. Fortunately, registration and printing is a lot more precise than it used to be. Especially since you're using a completely different process. You're not using a lino press. You're not doing this on newsprint and huge rolls that once the registration gets off, you're sunk. Nothing can be done about it. Oh, I have a shadow. Oh, shadow. Okay, so there's page 104. Oh, let me see. Mauricio. That's okay. You asked it 20 minutes ago. I wasn't paying attention. I'm sorry. Any other comic artists? It's just about everybody I ever looked at. Alex Toth, Kurt Swan, um, you know, Mobius. Mobius, though you probably can't tell from looking at this, but Mobius, the way especially the way his colorist in the Lieutenant Blueberry books used color. I'm really heavily influenced by keeping the color kind of open and no murky areas. I like that a lot. And then Alex Raymond, Milton Caniff, who's to me, Milton Caniff's outrageously wonderful. Really knows how to pace a story, and he does everything. And Wally Wood, who doesn't love Wally Wood? There's just an awful lot of artists that you pick up little things from. And then, and I'm a really kind of a quirky artist, and I try to pay special attention to compositional things, and then in Rembrandt, in the way that I hatch and cross hatch and stuff like that, not comparing myself to that old guy in any way, but he his etchings, and I was a printmaker for a long time, still am, and so the way I do prints is also the way I draw, and yeah, in writing, I love Flannery O'Connor. That's not what I wanted. Oh, here. And Raymond Carver and Mark Twain and J.R.R. Tolkien. Tolkien's better than just about anybody. Though I love short stories. I like writing short stories. I've got something coming out around September 1st, a little collection of short stories by myself that I'm going to try and make a monthly. I've got the first month done and the first couple of months done. So I'm going to try and get those done. Now I got to do this. I got this, and this is the next. So probably the first artist that I ever noticed. I was 4 years old. Alex Toth, Zorro. I actually I don't have the actual issue, but you can find it at Comic Book Plus in their Dell public domain collection. I have it, and that's when I decided I got to learn how to read. I don't know what's going on here. And you can almost credit comic books for the fact that in the 10th grade I could read on a graduate school level. Because I was always reading. And now it seems like nobody reads. They just play video games. You're not going to learn how to read. You got to learn how to create a story structure too, which there's a classical way to do it, exposition. There's a point of attack or something like that, and then climax and denouement, and but some of those things can be, especially in modern storytelling, can be played with as long as you resolve it eventually. You just kind of lead them on. If you know anything about the Irish joke goes on forever and has no punchline. And so when it comes to like comic book stories, I don't think I have any inspirations in comic book writers. I don't pay much attention to the way writers do things. Comics. Maybe it's because I'm primarily a visual artist. And I just set up these crazy little storylines and follow them wherever they go. Especially like in this first book, I'm kind of setting things up. And what one of my big influences when I was real little, and I think it's still when I was in my teenage years, I still think I sometimes am heavily influenced by him, was Charlie Schultz. What I absolutely love. Maybe in comic book writing, he would be more likely to be an influence on me than most everybody else, because his storylines went on for a long time. And of course, there's never any real resolution in any of the Peanuts things. Though since this is a 9-book series, you're not going to see what is happening for a while. They're all connected. All the stories are interconnected. So it's a matter of whether or not you want to get on board and follow me down that trail, which I'm kind of hoping people will. They'll get on board. This is early in this train's still in the station. And we'll see whether or not that happens. You know, I I have a let me look it up. Very soon, I'm going to be interviewed by a some folks called um, Collector Maze, collectormaze.com. Yeah, Collector Maze. Oh, Collector Maze is going to interview me soon. They just got a hold of me yesterday and said they wanted to interview me. That'll be fun. I looked at their site. They got some interesting people that they've interviewed. So not something I'm totally against. I'm really all yeah. It's got some nice people there, not just in comics, but in somebody over at Pixar. Who doesn't love Pixar? Whew. They've done some wonderful things. So okay, I've got that now. Might as well go. I'll find some flesh tones. Skin tones there. Gonna start coloring that in. Might as well get that done first. It's 11:30. I've got to get this done soon. I don't want to be doing this forever. I'll tell you, so cool. When I was a pup, 18, 19, 20 years old, and just gotten into comic book fandom, I've been a comic book fan for a long time, but there's such a thing as comic book fandom. This is like early 70s. All you had was, these fanzines to connect you and are going to comic book conventions. I went to I haven't gone to a comic book convention since the 70s. I went to the New York Comic Con in 74 and ran into Jim Steranko there. He wouldn't remember me by any means, but I remember him. Now he's, but boy, the resources now, dang. If you're young, the resources are just amazing. You go on YouTube, and there are all types of people hawking their wares and telling you how to do things and stuff like that. We didn't have that. We had to figure it out on our own. Oh well. The most awesome thing happened to me when I was that age is sitting there and watching Gilbert Shelton do one of his weekly Furry Freak Brothers strips. That kind of shook me up. Okay, Grandma probably doesn't drink that much. Just fill that in. I can get rid of that, the eyeballs, and when I want to. Looks like I got a little bit of pencil marks over there. I can get rid of that easily. A little while. I think I did this just a couple of days ago. Most of the stuff I'm coloring I did last fall. I'm just getting around to color it up, or it's up to 100 pages. Page 105. Took me a while to get to this, but this I did a couple of nights ago because I had somehow just not gotten around to doing page 105. I just skipped it. I don't know why. Don't remember everything I do. And so I did this, and I don't remember. I think this is all just pencil. I think this is all just pencil. I don't think I've done any digital enhancement to it. I think all these marks here are just pencil. So I've gotten to where the point with a big mechanical pencil, I can imitate what I used to laboriously do with a sable brush. I do not miss that at all. That's real. And rapidographs, though you never got those kind of effects with the rapidograph. Rapidographs are just you never get any variation in the size of a rapidograph mark. Nothing. Just one width. You can go it over several times and get a different width, but other than that, yeah. Oh, so I got the I've got the skin tones. So let's go back and find the color for his yep. Maybe this will go a bit a little faster, so I already have my colors set up. There's not gonna be anybody walking in. That may be the only guy. Yeah, that's the only time I'm going to show this guy. Okay, I just might as well get rid of him. Okay, do that. Get that. Yeah, but it's the only time I'm going to show him in this page. Oh boy. Okay, so did I? Okay, Grandpa's outfit. Might as well get him in there. Yep. Going to use him several other places. We got Paul cutting a plug and chewing and spitting. And, I have never chewed tobacco, thank God. Not against anybody who chews tobacco. I think he maybe should stop because it's going to come back to haunt you, but that. When I went off to graduate school, I had a couple of friends who were about 10, 15 years younger than me who chewed skull tobacco. Yeah, they don't do it anymore. They were baseball players, so back in the late '80s, for some reason, chewing tobacco was a big deal with baseball players. Seemed to be a big deal with baseball players in professional leagues, and so teenagers who loved baseball would also be doing it too. Okay, there's Grandpa being poured into the wagon. That's good that brown contrasts with his face and it clarifies the position of Blue Boy's face and also makes it more noticeable. So I lucked out there. I like doing these slightly foreshortened contour drawings. The old E. Okay. And the Kickstarter thing may actually come about a lot sooner than because I'm pretty lazy. It may come about sooner than I had expected because I have a friend who says he's going to help me out with it. So I'll be a fool not to take the offer of help from a friend who's been successful at doing Kickstarter. So maybe that's something coming down the pike real soon. There's not much difference between the two, is there? Oh well, don't worry about that. Okay. And this is also Grandpa's leg over here, and his doody. I've only been doing this an hour and a half. That's good. I did it for 3 hours. There's a good chance I'll have this done. All I have to do is do my Illustrator stuff over the weekend. Ooh, yeah. Okay. Okay, let's go after grandma's outfit. Okay, that was easy. Well, look, I can. Yeah, I'll fix that in a few minutes. Okay. Got some cleaning up to do here. Clean it up now. Clean this up. Okay. Bit here, a little bit there. Huh. Unfortunately, this is not a very complex page. It's not super go to town complex, so I'm gonna do pause jacket. Uh, Ooh, the old hand. Okay, and we don't have Paul. Well, we sort of have him right here. I'll clean that up. Okay. Now, Grandma is over here also. So we use color to make it clear who she is. Oh boy. Uh, What are you talking about? Is this a Marxist-Leninist channel? Are you crazy? My shoes, why would you want to talk like that? My shoes full of syrup. No, it's not. Nope. Nope. Where did everybody get that idea? It's more like unless the Grange is that. Oh boy. Anyway, we'll get some wild ideas. I'm surprised anybody found me on Twitch or noticed anybody even noticing me on Twitch. Okay, back to color. Okay, I don't think. Oh yeah, I got this right here. My shoes are full of syrup. That's a strange question. Okay, yeah. Probably should be a little bit up here. Fact, not a bad idea to do this. Yep. Change that a tiny bit. Okay. Okay. There you go. Blue Boys. The color of Blue Boys pants. Okay, right there. Okay. Oh, ho, 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 ho. And then we got this orange-ish color for the top of the jug. And then it's sort of a gray. For the rest of the jug, which I'll have to kind of fix in a minute or so. There. Okay. Okay. Yeah. No. Might as well fix this a tiny bit. Okay. And now, over here, we had this color as the color we used for this wood down here. So let's go after that. You can see it has a slightly different temperature since it's a chromatic neutral than that jug. Ooh. So I'm being lazy and I want to get this done. We'll do that. And I can smudge this in the tiniest way, which will kind of get covered up by kind of get covered up by the shadows later on. And grandma's hat color, which also tell you that it's grandma, even though she's got her back turned. Ooh, I feel a nap coming on after all this is over. I was going to mail some stuff out, but I may do it tomorrow. I'll be out tomorrow morning anyway. Oh, blah, 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 blah. Okay, and that. And once again. Okay. Then the color of the buggy. The color of the buggy. The color of the buggy. Right there. So I'm going to do that over here. Okay. Now, let me see. Oh, color of Grandpa's shirt is that thing right there. Is that really that color? I don't know. It was lighter than that. Let me see. Here, let's do that again. Yeah, like that. Now, there. That's the color of Grandpa's shirt. And that's all we got for Grandpa's thing. Then Cyrus's overalls, got to color them. OIDU Bow. Okay. Well, I didn't get that the first time. And then the color of the ground, which I guess should be about the same color as what we had before. Okay. I like doing that. Anything makes my life a little bit easier is all right with me. Oh, it's too small to mess with. The bucket. And I'll just erase some of that. Get that in there. Yep. And maybe see if this works. I can always fix it. Okay. Let me just smudge the edge of parts of it just so it looks a little more like it's goopy. Okay. Oh, I got to do that poor horse. Gee, Well, I'll just pick one of the horse colors from this. And it'll probably just be this one. Okay. I think I'll just bring that color over here just so it's just not a white against that black. Even though I got the whole dang thing. Yeah. Okay. Drawing horses is so much fun. I spent a lot of time. I've mentioned before I did like 40 years of research on this. Not continuous, but getting ready to do this thing. Part of it, after having living in Florida and saying, I really need to get up to speed on drawing horses. And we got a lot of horses down here in Florida. Lots of horses. So I'd go to Calder Racetrack and Gulfstream, and I'd draw racehorses. And of course, racehorses have perfect physiques, absolutely perfect horse physiques, just gorgeous horse physiques. They're not the only horse physique there is. There are other horses that have slightly different physiques, but basically, if you want to see something that is the quintessential horse and Olympic champion physique, go to a race track and you're not going to get much out of watching them race. Wait for them to come out of the paddies, their stalls, and then study that. Boy, I took gobs of photographs of them. And just studied them. And then there's horse farms all over South Florida that you can go to. And even if you can't go inside, which you probably can't, hey, just watch the horses in their pastures. If you go out to horse country, it's not such an unusual thing to have somebody riding their horse in the country. And you get to, I've talked to people who are just riding their horses out on the street, and they're usually really nice people and want to talk to you about horses and stuff like that. And then you got video doing that and lots of photographs. And so then you got George Stubbs' Anatomy of the Horse, which I have high quality prints of that. So horses are a lot of fun. I'll rest the old hand for a second. I'm not sure I like the color of that. I'll have to look at that in a second. Let's go back to page 113. Yep. And that is the color of the side of the. Yep. See if I can fix that. Well, didn't fix it much, did I? Huh. Oh, well. Do it like this. Ba-bo. Okay, man, I didn't do the round here, did I? Now I do the ground. Get this fixed, I'll stop for the day. What was my goal for the day? I'll do a tour of blueboybrown.com. I'll give you the rationale for why I do things the way I do. It has everything to do with the manner in which comics display on a phone screen. Can't make them too small. Okay. And then Blue Boys do. Actually have his shoe here. Okay. I might as well do his shoes. That's that color too. Everybody in the family has the same color shoes. Okay. And let's bring that over there, and then color the tack that is used for the horse. And sure didn't distribute this very well, did I? There, that's a little bit better. Okay, now what's going on up here? I'm suspecting I need to put a real dark gray back there. See if that works. Oh. Mm. Okay. Oh. It's up here like that, and okay. Of course, I'm going to have to go over this a lot with this and that to make it consistent and halfway believable. Blah 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 blah. Let me see. Probably need to do a little drawing here. I'm going to take a tiny break because it's been 2 hours. Just been sitting here. Need to walk around a second. I'll be back a second. Okay, I'm back. I'm trying to look up something. Okay. Let's look at the forecast cone of this hurricane that's forming out in the. Actually, it's easier to do it just by the National Weather Service. Come on, National Weather Service, open up. Don't care about that. Here. There's the active warning cone. It keeps, yeah. Yeah, we're not even in it. Yeah, we're not even in the warning cone. Which I don't like seeing anybody get hit with a hurricane, especially since it looks like it's heading towards New Orleans. Uh, okay. We'll do it like that. Do it real simple. Better do a larger brush here. That wasn't good. Oh, you son of a gun. Well, let's see if I can make it. No, I bet I can't. Key to this is make it really big so you can actually see the sucker. See all the little nuances that you have to deal with. Actually, quite easy now. It's real small. You can't. Yeah, doesn't work. So we'll just do it like this, and this should be fairly easy to do. Fairly easy. Actually, if I almost there. Almost there. Okay. Now I'll see if I can just fill this in. Yep. Yep. Better. Okay. So now take that little color there. Okay. Do. So just trying to get this to the point where I can put it to bed so I can put in the dialogue and word balloons and narration, stuff like that in Illustrator. Do that over the weekend, show that on Monday. It's getting closer. Okay, let's go down here to layer and then okay. Bow. In color. Okay. Make this real simple. Yeah, I'm being quite silent, which in radio is just you're not supposed to have any silence. This is not radio. Uh, um, down here. And then I'm gonna do this. Might as well do it now. Song. You may remember Sherry Lewis, the greatest ventriloquist that ever lived. I wish she hadn't passed away from breast cancer. She was such a treasure. Her children's programming was actually for children. So I remember back in the 60s when I was a little boy. Well, not that little, but little enough. My brother and sister and I just adored Sherry Lewis and lamb chops and just absolutely loved her. She had something on PBS for a long time too. I think that's where that song gets stuck in your mind. The song that never ends. She was just wonderful. Now, bring that up a little bit larger. Okay. Imagine a children's program was actually for children. She, Mr. Rogers, and Captain Kangaroo were the top drawer in children's programming. I'm too old for Sesame Street. It wasn't on when I was a kid. Is this a Marxist-Leninist channel? That's really funny. What am I doing? Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. I'm going to do this. Loo. Okay. All right, over here. Okay. Yeah. This may or may not work. Let me see if I can get this thing to behave. That's not good. Oh, not sure that works. In fact, I'm very sure it doesn't. What if we were to cut out some of it? Oops. Don't have a white layer on there, do I? Okay. I'm not sure that works. What if I did it this way? Oops. Play around with it and then get rid of it all. Nope, doesn't work. Didn't work. Okay. Put that white layer in there again because I got rid of it. And maybe I get rid of that line there too. And let me see, I better reapply white in there since I think I erased part of that. I think I'm just going to make this whole thing clouds. Just have them clouds. Mm-hmm. Okay, let me see if I can manipulate that so it does what I want it to do. Okay, do a little bit of dodging in here. And then see about the color, which should match that. That's a little too much there. I think that should probably be that. Yep. That, yeah. Yeah. A little too bright. Okay. Oh, put back the tone. Do do do. Okay, now. Blah 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 blah. I should probably over this a little bit more so that it stands out. Got that dead Burma background fighting with him. Yeah, I may have to. Yeah, let's see. Okay. Okay. And then down here. Yeah, play around with some of those lines again. Okay, now we gotta do up. I gotta mess around with this stuff up here. Uh, Same old thing. Oops. Got to color my little buddies down here. Okay, right here. Okay. Yeah. And this didn't do. I'm really lazy. Look how lazy I am. Uh, okay, now back up to color and a little bit of this here. Here, getting close to putting on shadows and getting finished. Okay. Now, what else do I have to do? Well, I think I'll just start working on shadows. Okay. 35. 35. Oops. 56. And 45. Eh, so, well, let's just make it 30. 30. 45. Oh, no. That magenta really just makes that 20. There we got it. Okay. And we're in the shadow layer. Doesn't do a dang. That's because I'm erasing. Oh, boy, that's scary. And that's it. I'll get it sooner or later. Uh, I don't know. Okay. Okay, like that, like that. Okay, and down here. Got to color grandma's hat, so I have to do that in a second. And the horse. And blue boy over here. Oh, well, looky. Let me see. There's a few little things here that I need to fix, like Ma's hat, Grandma's hat here is falling off of her. And then here in the color area, I need to white up her eyes. I guess she's got blue eyes. It's easier to have blue eyes than any other color, probably. That didn't work. And the way you fix that is to enlarge it, and that way you can actually do it without any big problems. And then yep. Okay. Now, this thing needs some drawing in the line layer because I really didn't go to town too much on the contour drawing. And then I'm finished, which is about right. Coming up on 3 hours, that's about right. Okay, let me see. Of course, when you do that, you have to do some corresponding areas that have similar weight because it'll start to really garner a little too much attention, and you'll have an unbalanced composition. So means I have to do a lot of little drawing stuff here. What the heck? Okay, Rick Bruno. That's pretty wild. I hope that means you like it. Thank you. Finally, somebody on Twitch is noticing. I've been on Twitch for a couple of weeks and nothing happening. Maybe something happened there. I don't know. I wonder if I should just erase part of that shoulder, which is a little bit too built up, like something out of the 40s. This is about 25 years before that. Okay. Grandpa's enjoying his swigs. Okay. Somebody's mowing their lawn. It's not my lawn guy. He was here on Wednesday. I have to keep this kind of loose because once this gets reduced to viewing size, it'll tighten up, and you don't want to get too tight. Better to keep it a little loose. It'll tighten up with the reduction in size. Okay, it's coming along. Let me see what it looks like. Reduce it, yeah. It's coming now. Okay, up here. A little bit of this. Don't want too much of her in the background because you want her to be simple. That's how you get things to recede, is by simplifying them. Let the things in the foreground be complex and the things in the background be simple, and they all take their proper place in the spatial order of things. I didn't like that. Yep. Well, the FedEx Cup playoffs are going on. My hopes for Jordan Spieth are that he survives into the second round. He was at like 100, so he needs to get below 75 to play next week. He's got to come out of this slump sooner or later. He's too good a player to let it last forever. Something psychological going on here, which is, hey, that's golf. Golf is played in the 6 inches between the ears. Down here, over here. What am I going to do about that? Huh. What am I going to do about that? Let me see. I'm going to do it like that. It's kind of a squirrely little way of dealing with that, but hey, we all have our little squirrely ways, don't we? And let me see if that works. All right, just barely nudge this. Okay, just barely. And then down here, I just want to. That didn't work. Yeah, better just to take an eraser, erase that little pencil line. Yep. Do the same thing over here. Okay, now I'll go back to that. Okay. 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 Yeah, that little problem there. Bring it up to color, larger brush, make it greener so it doesn't look like it's the same color as Grandma's hat. Yeah, now what do we have? We have a finished page. Yep. Yep. Anything more, I'm going to screw it up. So that's today. It's 3 hours. So I was going to give you a tour of I'm not here. Let me see. Blue Boy Brown. Okay. Yeah, I don't want anybody. Okay. Here we go. There we go. See if we can actually. Yeah. There we go. This is Blue Boy Brown. So I never seem to show it off. This is the first chapter. Yeah. And let me reduce the size of it a little bit so that I can show it. Okay. There's the first page. And you navigate by using these things here. You can jump to any page in here, any page in the first chapter. Then you can select another chapter. And I don't know why these are. I'm gonna have to see about how I order those. And then the second chapter is this, which is a little. The page is a little smaller because I have it set up to be a double spread in a comic. And I did a recolor on this, and I don't know if I'll keep that heading where it says Chapter 2 Gettysburg. I'm going to fix that. The web comic is actually a staging area. And then the third chapter is the new wife. And then, well, let's just go back to the first chapter. And the next is this. I'm probably going to do some recoloring when I head towards print. Get a little closer to what I have now. I've kind of evolved the way I do color. Come on. There. I introduce you to the twins and to the Peabody cousins, Petunia, Violet, and Magnolia. And then introduce you to the idea these are wandering loggers. And that Grandpa was at the Battle of Gettysburg. It wasn't a very good time for him. Bolts are flying everywhere. Men calling out for their mamas and as they lay on the ground bleeding out their last. Grandpa's life as a Mennonite didn't exactly prepare him for this. You don't say. So what did he do? He got the heck out of there. He turned tail and ran like a rabbit. The Reb officer hot on his tail. And deciding the rebel wasn't going to run him down, he made a quick turn and faced the gray coat officer. Years later, he told his son how he felt bad about that first fellow he killed. This one aimed to skewer him with a saber. He didn't give a twit about him. So he got on that thing and he ran. And ran. And hid out. And he made his way back to his home in Metropolis, Illinois, which strangely enough is where my great-great-grandfather was born. So I just chose Metropolis, Illinois. Anyway, Metropolis, Illinois. How cool is that? That didn't work out too well. He woke up in the woods with his brother George over him. That's one of my favorite pages in the whole book. This is all I think I got the whole idea that we're in the dappled light of a forest. Then he wanders and wanders, and he finally finds a logging camp, and that's where he stays till after the war. Comes back, and there's nobody there. He never saw any of them ever again. Then we go back to the 1914, and Blue Boy is going to go off and find a new wife for Grandpa, but he's got his own little problems. Maggie, and then he says boink, and of course his whole deal is that wherever he goes, he never knows it, but flowers fall out of the sky and bury him in a pile of flowers. And he gives one to Maggie, and that starts the whole thing rolling. Mom doesn't like this. Not at all. But he's got to go off and get Grandpa a new wife. And so they go. After church, they go off, get him a new wife. Of course, he's had a few of them. And so he tells the story, how he got here, and where he found this woman. And she's not too happy. He's just been widowed about 6 months before that. She's out near starving. But Grandpa thinks this might be a good deal. Especially since she doesn't appear to be doing too well. It's another run where I love these pages. These pages I'm happy with. There. He's telling about the kind of food they eat. And that was the clincher for her. They have food. But next day, it's back to work. And a little bit of backstory about what it's like to be a lumberjack. And being he's 12 years old, even as big as he is, nobody's given him much credit for it, except he can arm wrestle everybody and beat them. So he's working and working and working. And there's Clifford Wayne Earp, the foreman. And of course, things happen. And of course, fights do break out. They get broken up. Don't worry about this over here. Maybe I have to, I don't know. Well, it's not the gutter. This is the gutter. This is a very outward part. I have to have my printer tell me whether that's going to work. And this boy, Leroy DeHammer, as you see, something bad happens. And some people go to meet their maker. I don't remember putting it that color. Maybe I'll fix that. Do. And then that. As close as we get to a horror story. Oh well. Of course, every boy wishes his mom was here when they're having problems. What happened here? This would be a big file. I don't know. We have to reduce the size of this file. And they have to go home. And the widow kills a chicken or two. And all this reads real well on a phone, which is the important thing right now. If you're going to do web comics, then you got to make sure they read well on a phone, mostly so you can read that. You can read the type. You can read the lettering. And we'll go to the family feast. And do. Oh, what happened there? It's good to know you can just hit next, and you just go through the entire book. Well, okay, come on, let's go. Huh. Some reason I'm having not having problems on. Oh, not having problems. There you go. My website was halting. We're still on The Widow Kills a Chicken or Two, which we're still trying to finish up. But here we are, page 100, so we only got a few more pages to go. And now they're chewing tobacco. This is page 102. And here's the last page that I published, I believe, which is page 103. Yep, it is the last one. So there you got it. I went through the whole thing. So if you would, it'd be nice. Everybody go over to blueboybrown.com and take a look-see. See what we got going. So I'll be back on Monday and do some Illustrator and word balloons and stuff like that and maybe I'll have some news on how the Kickstarter thing is going to happen. That'll be fun, especially as looks like I'm going to have some help. So I will see you on Monday. Oh, and Rick Bruno, thank you for all the accolades. Okay, so that's the end of that. I'll see you guys.